You ever feel like you're playing a game, but the rules just keep changing without any warning? One minute you think you've got it all figured out, and the next, bam, the whole board has been flipped upside down. Well, that feeling of constant, dizzying change, it isn't just in your head. It actually has a name. And getting a handle on it is the first real step to mastering it. So today, we're going to decode that chaos and give you a kind of roadmap, not just to get by, but to actually thrive in it.
So here's our game plan. First up, we're going to put a name to the chaos and welcome you to the VUCA world. Then, we'll look at how disruption has become, well, the new normal. We'll also dig into our default reactions to it, which, spoiler alert, often don't help. From there, we'll introduce a totally new way of thinking, what's called the blue bus mindset, and we'll wrap it all up with a practical toolkit you can start using right away.
I mean, this is the big question, right? It feels like it's everywhere. From our jobs to global headlines, the pace of change is just relentless. But what if I told you there's a framework, a special kind of lens that can actually bring all of this chaos into focus?
Welcome to the VUCA world. Let's finally put a name to this chaos we're all feeling.
So what is this framework? It's an acronym, VUCA. It was first dreamed up by the U.S. Army War College. See, they needed a way to talk about the world after the Cold War, a world that was suddenly way more complex and unpredictable than before.
And that's exactly what VUCA is for us too. It's a lens. It lets us step back from all the noise and start to see the bigger patterns, the undercurrents of change that are shaping our lives, our work, and pretty much everything else.
Let's break it down letter by letter. The V is for volatile. This is all about the incredible speed and sheer scale of change. Think about how a single viral video can build or destroy a brand's reputation in just a few hours. That's volatility, a tiny spark that causes this huge, completely unpredictable fire.
Next, the U stands for uncertain. This one's pretty simple. We just can't predict what's coming next. You know, when a new technology like generative AI just appears on the scene, there's no instruction manual. There's no playbook for how it's going to reshape everything. We're all flying blind.
Then we have C for complex. This means that today's problems are this tangled web of interconnected issues. A great example is climate change. It's not just an environmental problem, right? It's tied into economics, politics, technology, social justice. You pull on one single thread and the whole web just shakes.
And finally, A is for ambiguous. This is where things get really fuzzy. Reality itself is unclear. It's that fog of misinformation, where you can have different people looking at the very same event and coming away with totally different and often conflicting ideas of what even happened.
Now that we have the theory, let's see what this VUCA world actually looks like when it shows up on our doorstep.
I mean, on a global scale, you can't miss it. The 2008 financial crisis, the COVID-19 pandemic, the war in Ukraine, these weren't just simple, isolated things. They were full-blown VUCA storms, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, with aftershocks that we are still feeling today.
And it's not just on the world stage, is it? Just think about our daily lives. Entire industries have been turned completely upside down. Taxis got disrupted by Uber, hotels by Airbnb, TV by Netflix, music by Spotify, shopping by Amazon. This is VUCA playing out right in front of us, where what was solid yesterday is just gone today.
All this constant disruption forces a question, right? How do we respond to it? It turns out our gut reactions are often what separates the people who just survive from the ones who actually learn to thrive. So when we feel that chaos, our brains tend to go into one of two default modes. We can think of them as the red bus and the green bus. The red bus is all about aggression. When it feels like it's losing control, it tries to grab it back with a "we know best," top-down, command and control style. But that just creates a culture of fear that crushes new ideas. On the other hand, the green bus is the total opposite. It's passive. It's a culture of victimhood and blame, where doing nothing is seen as a win. Honestly, both of them are total dead ends in a VUCA world.
If the red and green buses are traps, what's the way out? Well, it's called the blue bus, and this is the real path to thriving.
The whole blue bus mindset really boils down to one incredibly powerful idea: agency. It's the belief, as this quote says so well, that you have the power and the courage to take ownership, not just of your circumstances, but, and this is the key part, of your response to them.
And when you have that mindset, it leads to some pretty amazing behaviors. Accountability starts to replace blame. Being open to learning becomes more important than being right, and, maybe most importantly, you start to realize that we really do get further together, which builds the kind of resilience that can get you through almost anything.
A powerful mindset is great, but how do we actually put it into practice? Let's break down a super simple tool you can start using today.
It's about having the discipline to figure out what you can actually control versus what you can't. And why does that matter so much? Because wasting your energy on things you can't change is the fastest way to burn out.
Think of 3 circles. Right in the center is your circle of control. These are things like your actions, your effort, your mindset. Your job here? Own it. The next ring out is your circle of influence. These are things you can't control directly, but you can nudge them. Your job here is to leverage that influence. And everything else, all the way on the outside, is the circle of concern. Global politics, the economy, the weather. Your job here is the hardest, but also the most freeing. You have to accept it and not let it drain your energy.
And really, that's the secret sauce for thriving in a VUCA world, whether you're an individual or a whole company. It's not about fighting change. It's about becoming so adaptable that you start to see change as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to create something new. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. As you go out and face whatever comes next, which bus are you driving? Are you defaulting to that command and control red bus? Are you stuck on the passive green bus? Or are you ready to get behind the wheel of the blue bus and make the choice to thrive?